Stone Fire would like to make a dedication to John Coltrane.
Supreme, a love supreme.
Hope you have enjoyed
A love supreme. Supreme.
John Coltrane played all that jazz. Black genius of the saxophone. Great black music with lots of class and messages with a musical tone. His horn blew, my favorite thing. He gave us a love supreme. Ascension sounded from this black king, and Naima was the supreme for queen.
A love supreme.
A love supreme. Charlie Parker, the bird.
Supreme.
The Creator has a master plan. Throughout the land. September 23rd is when Coltrane was born. They say he came out blowing a golden horn.
Supreme.
Ooh la la, and African great black music. And they called it jazz. He wrote a song for the Underground Railroad, and one called Take the Train. His dear Lord and meditation, these are those. In Alabama was the poor girl who was slain. Always remember John Coltrane. Hear what he has to say. Since I began, Reverend King and African blues, Afro soul, and John Coltrane played all that jazz. Black genius of the saxophone, great black music with lots of class and messages with a musical tone. Will you remember John Coltrane? With his music, you can't go wrong. Always remember John Coltrane. He helped make our people strong. Peace and happiness throughout the land. The Creator has a master plan. Supreme peace and happiness throughout the land.
I love supreme, 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 I love supreme.
That's here he lives.
That's you. All right.
All right.
Get a little sound on the mic here. But so I want to say good rising. Good rising to this morning. And we can talk about this is a love supreme.
Yes, yes.
This is Mama Just Theory Day.
Yes, yes.
Truly a love supreme.
Yes, yes.
So I want to welcome everyone. Hope you're in good spirits. And today is a celebratory day.
Yes, it is.
So make sure when you leave here, soak up that sun. And let's remember Mama Jasiri as we walk through this day.
Good morning, Jose.
Good morning.
How's everybody?
Good.
What a big, beautiful house we have here today. I know Mama Jasiri's spirit is happy. Where is she? She's happy that we opened with that first video, which was her doing a poem that was written by Mama Nikishi in Washington, D.C. And also, for those of us who knew Mama Jasiri, we also recognized in that video other ancestors. There was Mama Teresa Lewis and Sister Mama Haberta Bonar, and our harmonica man, Brother Lee Donald.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're having it's a beautiful day here in Oakland. Haven't been able to say that a whole lot. So we're having a beautiful day here in Oakland. And now, next we're going to have announcements from Minister Imhotep. Brother Minister.
Morning. Well, I don't really. I don't really have that announcement. I want to say that the newsletter come out, and the newsletter's out. If you look at mailings, you'll receive it, or you can go to the website. Get a great the newsletter. Also, tomorrow, I love to eat. We'll be meeting at 5 a.m. Pacific time, and we will be going to. We will have our meditation and prayer. Also, it takes place on Fridays, so Monday and Fridays. There is no Black Knowledge Matters for the month of April. We're taking a spring break. So we'll see you in May. And if you have some suggestions, please send them to me. And if someone else has some announcements, we'll take those now. Over. All right, let's proceed on with the service. Give thanks.
I just want to invite everyone on the third Sunday, the 21st, that during the service that we have, we will also be having a baby blessing for my grandniece. So please, we want you all to come. We need the spirit, we need the presence. There are folks that are new to Jose, so we really need to show up and show them that we're a welcoming community.
All right. How's everyone?
No less than blessed.
I just want to recognize real quick, because Minister Mali talked about babies, but we got a baby in here. This child is a special child because the child's mother is one of the first students of Ilioma Day.
Yeah.
So, see what Mama Jasiri has done?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, now we're going to have some comments from some people about Mama Jasiri. And so first will be Minister Makalisi, who is my elder brother, real brother, by the same mother. So, Minister Makalisi.
Ashe, Amen Ra Hetep Wose.
Good job, Sunil.
Ashe. It's just a blessing to be in the presence of the Wose community with the brothers and sisters of truth, beauty, and goodness, and be able to say a word or two about this particular sister of truth, beauty, and goodness. Because we know that Iliomade, if we know anything about Iliomade's history, there was a time when we were discussing, debating about what we were going to do and how we were going to get a school open, because we felt like we needed to have a school. Some of the people who were advising us would come and sit with us and talk with us. They said, well, you need to have this much of money. You need to have this much of resources. You need to have about a year worth of resources all stowed away before you try to open up a school. And so we were listening to that. And so one Sunday, following the previous Sunday, we had some discussion. The next Sunday, 3 sisters came to tell us. That was Sister Oyen, Mama
Okanona.
Okanona, yeah, Okanona, and Mama Jasiri. Said, well, the school is open. You can keep talking about it, but the school is open. We opened the school this past Monday at Mama Oyen's home, and we're on the way.
Yes.
And so ever since then, Ile has been working, functioning, growing. Mama Jasiri has played a significant role, and we started out as a preschool, as with the 3 of them working together. But Mama Okanona moved on up to become the administrator for the operation. Sister Oyen, I'm not really sure about what changes she makes, but somehow through the years, it got into the practice of naming the various rooms for historic heroes and sheroes, and somehow, I don't really know what the process was, but somehow Mama Jasiri got named as the preschool shero, by which the name would be called. And as I reflect on Mama Jasiri, I reflect on some songs that she sang. One of them was about earthen vessels. Earthen vessels, all are we, made especially for Amen-Ra's use, filled with presence of his love, to be channels of blessings poured abundantly. And so she took that kind of spirit with her when she went into teaching the children. She wanted them to know how to write, how to do mathematics. She wanted them to know how to spell their names, how to 2 and 2 is 4. But she wanted them to know more, that you indeed are a vessel, a being who's brought into being by the Creator. And there are things that the Creator wants you to grow, to know, to do. The Creator wants you to grow and know about unity. The Creator wants you to grow and know about self-determination and collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics. Wants you to know about loving one another as sisters and brothers. And so she shared that spirit, that principle, that power, even as she was endeavoring to help these children know how to write their names, how to add 2 and 2, how to divide 4 by 2. There's a song that says, earthen vessels made of clay, made and fashioned on the potter's wheel. He has placed you here with us today, his grace to witness and his will to obey. So, we're not just here to do regular little educational things, but there's this spiritual dimension to your being, to our being, and that we want to pass that on to you, so that someday will come when you need to pass that on to your children. We have an example of that here today, don't we? Yes, indeed. So we are his eyes to see.
Yes.
Suffering of the world.
Yeah.
But in the suffering, there's also some solutions, and we have to put our energy, our time into finding those solutions and taking the suffering out of the world. We are his voice to speak, not just any old stuff, but his wisdom to be heard. We are his hands to do the will of Amen-Ra, of God above, his grace to witness and his will to obey. Yes, indeed. She also had another song that I love to hear her sing about, teach the children. Teach the children what it means to be free.
Yes.
Teach our children what it means to be free, to know our history, not be intimidated by somebody talking about we don't want them to be woke. Yes, hey, we can understand that, but teach the children what it means to be free. Only unshackled minds can break the chains of slavery. Only time will tell.
Only time.
If we've taught them well, like we should be doing right now, we've got to teach the children. If the world we want to liberate, don't you know we have to educate the children? Mama Jasiri was living by that spirit. Live by that spirit day and night, year in and year out. One thing about her that just resonates with me that I will never forget, although I'm forgetting some things as I grow along here in age, but I will never forget. We were having a meeting, because Ile Omade and had his challenges. There wasn't always a smooth avenue. And so there was a time when we were having a meeting, an evening meeting, and we were talking about, and there was some serious consideration being given to closing Ile Omade for a year while we developed resources and some changes that some of us felt like ought to be made. And in the midst of that discussion, that back and forth, Mama Jasiri pounced out and said, "Over my dead body." That changed that discussion. We went on with some serious discussion about the issues challenging us, but closing Ile Omade for a year and keep Mama Jasiri from being able to teach the children how to read and write and cultivate the presence of the Most High within is over her dead body. And even now that she has deceased and she's not with us physically present in person, but she's here in spirit, and the work of Ile Omade is going on, and I think there's no doubt about it that it's going to go on as long as we breathe the breath of life, as long as we understand that we are made to do the work of the Most High and teach the children, teach the children, teach the children. And so I just give thanks and praises for having exposure to Mama Jasiri Kadiri and her life, her children, her presence in the Wose community. And let me stop there. I'm only supposed to be here for 5 minutes. Ashe, ashe.
I met Sister Jasiri in Southern California at an African-centered school that was teaching people how to start school. This was in, I guess, the middle 70s, and she invited me to Wose. She also would come by my house, she and Sister Olori Oyin Kabon, and they would sing, practice some of their songs, and Oyin would practice her poetry with the group I was in called Positive Force. And I was very impressed with her then and still am now. Thank you.
Wose, you're muted.
Unmute yourself, we'll say. AJ's not muted, though. I see AJ.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So thank you, Baba Nantambu, for your memories of Mama Jasiri. Next, we're going to have our affirmation. So would you cue it up, please, on Zoom? Our affirmation, which was led by Mama Afua. And following that, we'll have some comments from Minister Imhotep about Mama Jasiri. And after that, we'll have music from the Sounds of Life. Yes.
The Lord is microphone, that's what somebody just told me. And as we gather together at Wose, with the spirits of Wose, we will have our Wose community affirmation. I will read what it says for leader, and you, all of you, to read what it says for community. Okay? We will,
Yes, we can please stand.
yes, we can stand. We always stand, and we know. We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggles of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen, so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be living models of the new direction of our people.
We are an African people.
African people.
We are children of God.
Ashe,
Ashe, oh,
Ashe, Ashe,
Ashe.
And now a few words to Minister in the.
You know, it's hard for me to talk about Jasiri. I love Jasiri. I used to sing with Jasiri, and she was always Irie.
Yeah. Ashe. Yeah.
You know, sometimes there's not always harmony in the choir, and when people were bickering, she would just say, "I just want to sing," you know. And even when some of the songs that she would sing, you know, some of the solos that she would be doing her arm like this, you know. She was just really Irish. I have a couple of pictures from her, and she danced at our wedding.
Oh,
And-
that's sweet.
And I want to share that with you all. Hope you all can see that.
Yes.
Yeah, Jasiri was just an Irie person, you know. And that smile that you always see, she always had that smile. She was out.
yes, yes.
She was always like that. So here, you know, this is that original group. I'm sorry, these kids' faces, but there's Oyen and Okanona, and there's Jasiri, Chanasa, Chanasa and Kwabena and
Ayota.
yeah, and then here they are again. I can't remember where this is. This at Holly Street? I can't remember.
52nd.
That's at 52nd?
54th, she's saying.
54th, yeah, and that, you know, that's her, and oh yeah, you know, they were all together. They were working together as a team. They wanted to educate their own children, but they just didn't keep it to themselves. They reached out to the community, and like I see Ra-E-A, and there's Ioka, and there's Panya, and
Ioka.
yeah, all the youth. Yeah.
Let's go.
And then she sang in the Stones of Fire choir, and this was we were singing at African Liberation Day in Lowell Park, circa 1984. There's Ola Ramey, Ashaki,
Yeah.
and Jasiri. And here's a retro picture, but kind of more up to date. There's Ranier, Jalea, Akanke, Oyen, Jaleel, Ranier. Yeah. And this was, we didn't know that they were going to do this. And they ended up, they were dancing at our wedding. Oh, I had it queued up, but for some reason, hold on. That's Jassiri and the leopard. I want to stop it right here. You see that? You see that guy right here? That's Carlin. That's where we get no less than bless. He always said that. He always said that. And Makalisi continues that statement to this day. A little bit more. That continues on for about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to stop it now. But we always love Jassiri, and she's definitely left a mark in our hearts, and she'll forever light up the firmament.
Ashe.
Yeah, beautiful.
Ashe.
Well said, well said.
Okay, there are, as Minister Makalisi said, Jassiri sang a lot of songs, but there are 2 songs that will forever and ever and ever in this place be associated with Mama Jassiri.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask Mama Connie to come and sing one of them right now.
Teach the children what they need to survive. Don't let them be misled by the same
old lies, only time will tell. Only time will tell. If we walk well, like we should. Know by now. Some way, somehow, we gotta teach the children. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children, teach the children the world you want to liberate. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. Teach the children that for whom they must take a stand. Fight all oppression and help their fellow man. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. If we taught them well, like we should. Know by now. Know by now. Some way, somehow, we gotta teach the children. The world you wanna liberate. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. We gotta teach the children. The world you wanna liberate. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. Teach the children what it means to be free. Only unshackled minds and break the chains of slavery. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. If we taught them well, like we should. Know by now. Should know by now. Some way, somehow, gotta teach the children. Want to liberate. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. We gotta teach the children. You want to liberate. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. We gotta teach the children. Teach the children. Don't you know you have to teach the children? Teach the children. Teach the children. You want to liberate. Don't you know you have to teach the children? Teach the children. We gotta teach the children. You want to liberate. Teach the children. Teach the children. Teach the children. We gotta teach the children. You want to liberate. Don't you know you have to children? The children. Teach the children. Teach the children. The world you want to liberate. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. We gotta teach our children. Okay, we'll say, so we're live here this morning, and on this beautiful Mama Jasiri Day, you're about to see some behind the scenes stuff that you're not supposed to see. We've had some technical difficulties. And so it's time for the historical tribute, and we didn't get it queued up here. And so, Baba Jeff, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Forget I said anything. So we're going to bring Babu Sadi, who's? Future. Is it Future? Brother Future. This is Mama Jasiri's grandson, Brother.
Something fell off.
Excalibur. So when do you want the show to start?
The slideshow, that'll kind of be towards the
Okay, all
more
right.
so.
Introduce yourself, my brother.
Morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning.
My name is Jaleel.
Yeah.
I'm Mama Jasiri's youngest son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the time in our service when we try to keep 5 to 7 generations of our history alive by remembering. Thank you, Brother Charles. I appreciate you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Once again, my name is Jaleel. I'm the youngest son of Mama Jasiri, and this is the time in our service when we try to keep 5 to 7 generations of our history alive by remembering some person or some event. This morning's historical tribute is dedicated to the Queen Mother, innovator, educator, Mama Jasiri. We are honoring her 28th year, and we are working on the second generation of keeping her spirit and memory very well alive within us. Sounds kind of free-handed, but it was more so like I just wanted to come from the heart. And when I think about Mama Jasiri, I just think about not forgetting who you are.
Yeah.
More so than anything. And that's what she instilled in me, and I feel like she instilled in a lot of the kids growing up within the community. Just never forget who you are, where you come from, your core values. And my mother was born in Slaughter Neck, Delaware in 1949. Super humble beginnings. She was a chocolate drop in the late 1940s to early 1950s, and her life had its own challenges. But determined to turn her own life challenges into life opportunities, she started to work within the Black community, and she became an educator of the preschool children and helped start Ile-Omide along with Mama Oyen and Mama Maia in North Oakland. So just everything that she did, I feel like was pragmatic to the community and helped us grow together and kind of give us a vision towards in the direction which we were going. So I am going to call up Cousin Grace, because I know she had a couple of things she wanted to say. Ashe.
This is very emotional, and I always feel like, we'll say adjacent since I come every now and then. And
Take your
one
time.
of the things that my cousin would always say is that she was taller than me. And that was true when she was, up until she was about 5. But we shared a lot of things, including our names at the time. And upon her death, my oldest granddaughter was born, and we named her Jasiri as well. So her name not only lives on the school, which my other granddaughter goes to, but in our family, because she meant so very much. But all of you know how wonderful she was, and we really enjoyed a variety of music, and I guess sort of almost being brought to tears when I heard the song, because I knew that was one of her favorites, in addition to the one that is on your website, actually, on Ile-Omide's website. But instead of focusing on my cousin right now, I think what I'd like to share in this next couple of minutes is how much she really appreciated Rose. Coming up, she did have a very difficult time, and like most chocolate people in Slaughter Neck, Delaware, darkness was not appreciated. We had so much internal hatred around race and racism that our color difference brought us very, very close together. People would come to the house in Slaughter Neck, Delaware, and say things like, "You have good hair," when she's sitting there, and the implication was her hair was not good. And there were a lot of those things that went on a regular, and it actually started me on my path. My research and everything is on race and racism. Our paths were very different, but we were very, very much intertwined throughout the path. I came to California. She was in my wedding, and she said she loved California, and she came here. And Rose was a major turning point in her life. You're speaking of the truth when it comes to people of color. You're speaking of the truth regarding our history, our culture. She just shone in that light. And I've always, and I think I said this at her homegoing as well, I think Rose made her the person that she evolved to be. One that was kind, loving. We always loved children. And her sense of self just changed. It took literally 180-degree change as a result of all of you here over these many decades who really embraced her, embraced Blackness, and made her understand that we are indeed, children of God.
Yes.
I mean, in the Bob Marley song, when he talks about emancipate yourself from under slavery, it's only we who can, change our mind. And I think she grasped that concept that if we want to change, no one's going to do it for us. And coming here and finding a home in Rosé allowed her to make those kind of changes personally, in terms of not only her day-to-day living, but her giving. And I want to just say thank you so very much to Rosé, Ilia Mode for keeping that memory alive and walking along that path in a time where everybody else wants to take our history and hide it. So thank you very, very much. And thank you for loving my cousin.
Thank you.
I believe next we're gonna have a point from Mama Oyin. I believe.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Glad to be here, seeing all you beautiful African people. I have a poem that I wrote for the last celebration last year for Mama Jasiri. I didn't name it, but I'm just going to read it. With much admiration, I call her an inspiration. When things seem to be caving in, Mama Jasiri was a real sister and a positive friend. At the end of her name were no BAs, MAs, or PH to the D, but a MW, mother wit. You know what I mean? In her early years, she struggled with 3 children alone, worked sun up to sundown, 10 hours a day, in what one would call barely a living wage. She could pray up a song to a chicken leg and a vegetable soup, and a connoisseur of making barbecue tofu. Yes. Then she'd take some beans with black magic and feed the multitudes. Yes. She taught 17 children in circle. Oh, I'm sorry. She taught 17 children in circle, ages 2 to 5. She called them sugar dumplings and taught them to pray and have African pride. And when the parents complain, they won't sit still to learn ABCs. She'd say, they're just 3 years out of the womb, honey. Let them be. Mama Jasiri taught them alphabets with sheroes and heroes and African names. By the time for preschool graduation, they were fully ingrained. But that smile in her song went so deep and so far, our rich melanated sister, kissed by the sun god Ra. So this next one, that one was for anybody who really didn't know her, because we all, us older folks remember all of that. But this one is a legacy of her smile. It's not a poem, just talking about it. We have in these past years on Mama Jasiri's birthday sang her favorite songs, spoken her words, poems, stories in remembrance of her. She had many attributes, but when I first came to Wose on Galindo, I noticed one of the most beautiful sisters I had ever met singing in the choir. Her smile was captivating, memorizing, and welcoming like an angel. No matter how hard a day she had, or what pain or sorrow or grief she felt in her physical, for the spiritual heart would continue to smile on her face whenever she walked in a room and opened the door. A smile is contagious from someone with a permanent gift from God, like Mama Jasiri. But oh goodness, I want to say, watch Kalia, when she enters a space. It's her mother's smile, and ancestral legacy. So I would like everybody for just 3 seconds to turn to someone next to you in the church, or if you're at home and you're not near anybody, by yourself, and I'm gonna count. Just smile. 1, 2, 3. Can you feel it? Can you beat it? Okay. It's a beautiful thing, ain't it? Ashe.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mama Wien.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful.
You're welcome, everyone. Keep smiling.
Good morning, Wilson.
Yay!
So for those of you who don't know me, because I see a lot of new faces in here, I was born into this church. I had my naming ceremony here.
Yes.
When I was an infant. And I was a part of the first class, the best class. Yeah, I said it. That was me on the porch with Mama Jasiri and Mama Okanona and Mama Oyen. In the front, you couldn't really see me, but I was in the front of Shinaka, my cousin. And Mama Jasiri was one of my first teachers. And I was thinking about that because I'm one of the Ileomade alumni who became a teacher. And taught for 11 years. And it was really one of the things that I remember the most about Mama Jasiri is she was warm. She was love.
Yes.
She had a beautiful, one of the most beautiful smiles I've ever seen in my life. And for young children coming into school, she just made you feel this really deep sense of comfort and belonging. She was all the sugar babies and the sugar dumplings and all of those things when she saw you. But I want to speak more broadly to sort of my experience in education. So I taught for 11 years in a couple of different schools. I taught in Brooklyn and also in Atlanta. And most of the children that I taught are Black. And I can tell you that what is going on at Ileomade and what Mama Jasiri created for Black children is not ubiquitous. It's not common for a lot of Black children in this country. When Black children come into school, they're taught how to behave. They're taught that they need to walk in a line, they need to hold their hands just so, they need to sit up. And if they don't, like, here's what will happen to you. And here, I cannot stress enough that it really fortifies you to be taught that you are a smart, beautiful, capable Black child. Yeah. And Mama Jasiri in particular emphasized how proud she was to be African. Yeah. How proud she was to be a Black woman, how proud she was of her history and her heritage. And it was that foundation that really fortified students like me when we went out into the world. I didn't feel a sense of Black. I often joke that I didn't know white people invented anything until I was in 8th grade. All of this sort of internalized self-hatred that I hear a lot of my peers talk about, the fact that they felt that they didn't really love themselves until they were in college, that they felt that they didn't really know their history until some teacher late in their education taught them about who they are and where they come from. I was fortunate enough to have that through Ileomade and through Wose. And I came into a predominantly white college environment thinking, why don't you love yourself?
Right, right.
Of course I belong here.
Right, right.
Of course I can do what you can do and more.
Yeah.
And that comes from teachers like Mama Jasiri, who not only taught, but who built an institution and a foundation for Black children to launch from. And I cannot tell you how important that is and how many of our children don't have that. I've had Black children tell me that it is racist for me to say that I'm Black.
Wow.
And I've had, okay, everybody close the door, let's talk about that. And let's talk about why we're not racist. But I think, and I have, grown people that I've gotten into debates with, other teachers, about whether or not we should teach the history of slavery in school. Because there's a sense that there's something shameful, there's something not proud about the fact that as people were enslaved. And I think to myself, look at the fact that we created, we fed our children, we survived, we sang, we built out of this horrible, dehumanizing history. We're still here.
Yes.
And the fact that we're still here is itself something to be proud of, yeah?
Yes.
So it was the teachers and the institution and Ileomade that built that for me. It is unfortunate that there's not more of those places for our children, but this is a critical place. Mama Jathiri was a critical teacher. Not because of the fact that she taught us to read and she taught us to sing and she taught us to do math, but she taught us to be proud of who we are.
Yeah.
See how I'm talking and you're talking and now two people are talking? Thank you so much. This is Laylee for everyone who has been enthralled to meet her. This is my first baby. And one of the things that I'm really thinking about as I'm raising her is how is she going to get what I got? And so I'm very thankful for this community and for teachers like Mama Jathiri and workers like Mama Jathiri who provided that for all of us.
That's right.
Now we're gonna have Mama Jasiri's grandson, Future, do the libation.
No, we have the slideshow first. Slideshow.
Oh, yeah, slide.
Slideshow first?
Yeah.
So Baba Jeffrey. Never mind.
In those pictures you saw right here, Whaley, which is Mama Jasiri's eldest son, who's also an ancestor now. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Before Future does the libation, I have Sister Tamara Brooks that wants to come up and say a few things about Mama Jasiri.
Shame. Oh, it feels so good to be here today. So in the slide, I was the little kid in the yellow shirt in the front of everybody on the porch. Life has been a journey, but when you have a team of women and a team of brothers and Mama Jasiri in your life, you can't lose. It's no way. You have a teacher back there. I work at Piedmont Elementary, so I walked in the footsteps of Mama Jasiri, my mother. But I want to say that Mama Jasiri was a great woman of tenacity. She was very caring, she was very eager, and she was also stubborn. So not only did she give us confidence and grace to be who we are and to live a legacy, she gave us a little bit of her stubbornness too. Mama Jasiri skin looked as if the sun came down and kissed her every morning personally. I mean, it just glowed. She just had this radiance to herself. Her smile lit up a room. Her bracelets clapped everywhere she went. Then she had these huge shades that would hide these beautiful eyes that could pierce a soul. That's why we celebrate her 20 years later. That's why we're able to stand up here and say awesome things about Mama Jasiri, because not only do we give her flowers when she was alive, we're going to continue to honor her and give her flowers as she passed it and as she's watching over us as an ancestor. I'm going to tell a story and I'm going to sit down. I find myself being a life chaser, and it's because Mama Jasiri and all the other elders in this room. And a life chaser is somebody that takes a resume and you just throw it in the air, wherever it sticks, you go. And I've been allowed to do that. I've been a social worker, I've been a teacher, I've been worked at so many different places. And that's because I had people pour into my life. That gave me confidence to do whatever and be whoever I wanted to be. And I appreciate Mama Jasiri for that. And I thank her children. I thank Kalia. I thank Baba Ustadi. He's stubborn too, y'all. We want but I love Baba Ustadi and I love the elders. And I'm gonna tell this story about Mama Jasiri. I'm gonna sit down. Everybody know, by the way, Miss Anita Brooks is my mom. And I love her to death. We went on a trip. So my mom had this blue van, if everybody knows her, and it almost reminded me of the Scooby-Doo van. So, Clea, I love you, but I'm gonna tell this story, okay? So we get in the van. Okay, so you know that how they have the sweepstakes. They would send these letters to your house and say, oh, you want all this money, come get it. So Mama Jasiri, in my mind, decides to drive way to Timbuktu on this sweepstake card that says they're gonna get some money. So if you know back then, the elders, I don't know how they made things look like we were rich. You guys made us feel like we were rich. No, we weren't. We weren't. But you guys made us feel so rich in spirit that we asked y'all for everything. So my mom, she just didn't have it. So that's why we were chasing the coupe. So Jaleel gets in the car, Kalia gets in the car, around here I get in the car. We're going on this trip. I see them counting quarters. I said, well, okay, stay away, because we rich, we don't need that. And so Khalid's in the car, we're playing. And so my mom and Mama Jasiri would keep nuts and fruit and oh my God, they would have all these delicious cookies from Whole Food and all these different places in our purse. So it's 4 kids. They ran out of that very quickly driving a long way. Okay, I'm gonna make this short. So they get there, we're excited. We're gonna get some food. We're gonna get a tofu burger, things that we don't usually be able to get because we get nuts. In the future, you're very blessed. We had barbecue tofu and chicken peanut butter stew, and now you can go to all these places. So to make a long story short, they came out and got in the car, and my mom dropped her head, and Mama Jasiri dropped her head. I said, "Uh-oh, something is wrong." And my mom had this box. I said, "The money in the box?" She said, "No, baby, they gave us a toaster." So Kalia says, "I'm hungry." Julia says, "I'm hungry." I said, "I'm not gonna say nothing." So we're driving. We don't know how we're gonna get gas. Mama Jasiri yet pulling walnuts and raisins out her purse, bangles yet clacking. Both of them got their sunglasses on. We don't have no food, no money. Okay, everybody's smiling though. So that's what I can say about the elders. They poured into us and made us rich. No matter what we go through today as children and youth, no matter what circumstances that the world provides for us, whether positive or negative, we're able to overcome. That's because Mama Jasiri and the elders poured into us in this very room as kids. And I'm gonna end the story. We pulled over to get some apricots. It was full. It was like apricot heaven. So we get out, everybody plowing the apricots in like shirt. Khalil was like, "Get more." We're getting apricots. All you hear is, I said, "That's not good stuff." But we hungry, okay? Khalil, you know, we didn't have no money, okay? And we're starving, okay? You know how kids are when they get hungry. So we running back. So Mama Jasiri said, "Well, I'm gonna just get a couple more." She goes to the top, all we hear is, I said, "No." The man bows, shoots in the air. Mama Jasiri says, "Everybody go to the car." I said, "Mama Jasiri, come on." She said, "No, you guys are hungry." I said, "Mama Jasiri, we gotta go." So we all dove into the van. We all put our apricots together. And at that moment, I knew I could tackle life no matter what came my way, no matter which way I went. I knew that in all adversity, I could tackle life, and they don't teach that anymore. And I'm grateful for that today. Because I've made some good and some bad decisions, but all I think about is the bracelets. Click, clack. All I think about is the sunshines. It let me know I'm cool. Everything is gonna be all right. And all I can smell is the shea butter that came off her beautiful hair. That was so long and so thick and so pretty, and she always tied it up. And you knew when Mama Jasiri tied it up, she meant business. So today, the youth that came under Mama Jasiri, and this is the same pulpit. The same pulpit that I got up Sunday after Sunday and told y'all about how Harriet Tubman didn't take no stuff. Mama Jasiri didn't take no stuff, and you won't either. I should.
I say.
Ashe.
I say, now that I have future, I'll just express.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mama Jasiri's grandson. Although I never met my grandmother, I'm just glad I got to benefit from her legacy.
Yeah.
I graduated from Ileomade. I'm alumni.
Yeah.
Before I pour libation, I just want to say a passage from the Hosea. It says, "Pour libation, for your mother and father who rest in the valley of the dead. God will witness your actions and accept it. Do this also when you are away from your home, as you do for your mother and father, your children will do for you. From the book of Ani, stanza 2.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tamara. Tamara, good. Thank you, everybody. I know that. Let me just say, Tamara, I didn't recognize you, Tamara, when you came up to me. Tamara, her mother, Anita, was my first choir director of the Sons of Choir. Beautiful to see you here. Now a little bit more of the, the behind the scenes stuff that you're not supposed to see. Brother Jeff, we're going to do the song next, and then after the song, we're going to cue up Mama and Gina. Okay. And so everybody has a Mama Jasiri story. I have a quick one that I want to share. The last time I saw Mama Jasiri, Mama Akanke and Jasiri were leaving my house. I cooked dinner, and then, let me back up a little. I'm one of those people. A lot of us have taken breaks from Mose, go leave and don't come for a while, and then we come back. But so I was on a break from Mose, and I had a dinner for Mama Akanke and Mama Jasiri, and they were leaving my house. And the very last words that Mama Jasiri said to me is, "Brother, you need to come back to Mose. You need to come back to Mose." And the next time I set foot in Mose was 2 weeks later for her memorial service. Right? So I'll always remember that. And now one of Mama Jasiri's best friends, at least according to her, everybody says Mama Jasiri was the best friend, but Akanke always says, Mama Jasiri was my best friend. So we're gonna have Mama Akanke come up and sing what I think is the song that Mama Jasiri is best known for and best remembered for. But before she might want to share some comments also. Mama Akanke.
Mama Jasiri was my best friend. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But she was Mama Pam's best friend. She was Mama Oyin's best friend, Mama Oganona. They just lined them up, but she was my best friend. And I was fortunate enough to go on what was her last vacation with her, where she got to meet her granddaughter for the first time, Ranier's daughter. I think it was the only grandchild that she ever met and held. That was a very special trip. You would have had to have been there because she was celebrated on the East Coast by people that knew her from the West Coast. But anyway, she was my best friend. And that smile. I remember when Mama Jasiri fell and she cracked her tooth. And she said, "I'm not gonna smile," right? I was like, yeah. By hour or so later, that smile just as bright, But I have a lot of stories about Mama Jasiri. But it's really been said, that she's just this enormous, this great person. Like I told Jalea, you didn't know your mama was gonna be famous. Because she is. She's famous.
Yes, she is.
How many years later is this? And Mama Jasiri's name, I hear it all the time. There's not, months don't go by without hearing her name somewhere. So it's nice to be here with everyone to celebrate. And Tamara, Tamara used to live in the house over there too. Yeah, so we got some history of it here. Yeah. But so anyway, yeah, this is one of my favorite songs by Mama Jasiri. And it's one of my favorite songs because it really embodies her, who she is, what she brings to us every day still. And so we're going to present it to you. Just imagine Mama Jasiri's face. Imagine her smile, her sitting in the classroom with the children every day, her calling you sugar pie, honey bunch, you know, always making you feel that you were special. And that woman loved being an African woman. She really did, from the depths of her soul. And she walked it every day. I am so thankful to be an African. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am so thankful. I'm thankful to be African. Oh, yes, I am. 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 Oh, yes, I am. And I know the ancestors and elders are smiling every day because they know we won't say the Church of the African Way. And I am so thankful, so thankful to be African. Oh, yes, I am. 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 Oh, yes, I am. Oh, I love you. So thank you. Love me. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's God's destiny. It was meant to be. We should live together as one. And I am so thankful. Are you thankful to be African? Oh, yes, I am. 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 Oh, yes, I am. In God's creation, hatred should never be. Love is the way to eternity. It's God's destiny. It was meant to be. We should live together as one. And I am so thankful. Are you thankful to be African? Oh, yes, I am. 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 Oh, yes, I am.
never be. Love is a way to eternity. It's God's destiny. It was meant to be. We should live together as one. And I am so thankful. Are you thankful? To be an African. Oh, yes, I am. 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 Oh, yes, I am. Come on, y'all. I am so thankful. Are you thankful? To be an African. Oh, yes, I am. 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 One more time. Oh, yes, I am. And I am so thankful. You should be thankful to be an African. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you should be too.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Thank you, Sam Zamat. Thank you, Mama Connie. Thank you, Mama Jasiri. We're gonna have one more set of comments about Mama Jasiri. Mama Indina. Mama Indina, are you ready?
Greetings, everyone. Oh, wow. I was having problems unmuting myself. But this has been so wonderful. And here I go. Mama Jasiri was the epitome of love. And when she looked at you, you knew she loved you. And when you looked at her, you knew she was giving you that love back. She was the most awesome 4'11". She was just full from the top to the bottom. And she stood 10 feet tall in reality. One of the things about her, I'm glad Jaleel is there because he had an iguana once. And this is a funny story because the iguana, I don't know where all the kids were, but the iguana jumped out of his little glass container. And instead of Mama Jasiri calling a man or somebody, she called me. Mama, come here, the thing is loose, the thing is loose. When I got to her house, she was in the middle of her bed, refusing to get off until we found the thing. So I grabbed the towel. We finally found it. I grabbed the towel and grabbed it and put it back in its cage. Do you remember that, Jaleel? It was an iguana or something. Another thing that is so special for me is when we were cleaning up, at Mama Jasiri's house, I was in the bedroom and I was by myself. And Spirit said, lift up the mattress. And when I lift up the mattress, it was a $1 bill there. Okay. And I still have that $1 bill. It's turning back into paper, because it's so crispy. But that was the Mama Jasiri was like, I'll never be but so broke because I have this dollar bill. And I have her dollar bill. So I've had her with me for all these years in this dollar bill. Just the most wonderful, awesome person in the world. And yes, she was everybody's best friend. We talked and during her marriage, all of that, the kids. It is so good to see Ayoka, it was a mommy, and to see Tamara. Wish I could be there. Love everybody. And again, I'm going to have my silent little cry. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Ashe.
Thank you, Mama Dina. Let me say very quick that I've been in Bose over 30 years. And have been countless sisters who have been very meaningful to me. But to me, personally, there are two that will always be the embodiment of what Bose is supposed to be, of what Bose means. One, of course, was Mama Jasiri. And the other sister I'm about to call up to lead us in the litany of sacrifice, Mama Keisha.
Mama Keisha.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mama Keisha.
I said, I don't know if I can do this.
You can do it.
And because of the special place that Mama Jasiri had in my heart too.
Yes.
And when they started the school, I was the commissioner of education and training. And so they would call me up to do all the dirty work. I had a job that allowed me to run away with what I needed to. So I spent a lot of time with Mama Jasiri and Mama Okanona and Mama Oye as they traversed the newness of the school and the development. Today, we, at this point in our service, we got to pay the bills.
Yes.
And Mose has continued to pay the bills and support Ile Omode, but also parts of the community that we don't even talk about. There used to be a community basket, and people used to bring things, and our support has been wide. And so today when we do our litany of sacrifice, it really is not a sacrifice. It's a power that allows Future to say that he's a graduate. It's a power to say Ioka is a graduate. It's a power to say Tamara Brooks, who I didn't recognize either. It's our power, not our sacrifice, that we are in a position to say and do and support our community. We don't have to go ask Ford Foundation. We don't have to ask Rockefeller Foundation. We're doing it. And so I'm going to ask everybody to stand, and is going to put the litany up for us to read together. All right. Oh, okay. All of us need to stand and say together the first part. Ready? Yeah. So here's our litany of sacrifice and thanksgiving. Everybody together.
Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We praise your name, O Amen, for it is good.
I'll take the leader part and you take the community part. Umoja, unity. We will strive to maintain unity in the family, in the community, in the nation and race.
Self-determination. We shall find and create between ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Shama, Father and economics. Together we shall build and maintain businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people. The restoration of our people.
Say that.
The restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Say. Creativity. We shall do as much as we can, and anywhere that we can, to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited.
In faith, we believe with all our hearts in our God, our people,
And the righteousness and victory of our truth. Say.
Creator of the universe, indweller of every heart. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. We thank you for those who had to give and gave. We thank you for those who had no money to give, but gave with their heart and their spirit. We thank you for this place, we'll say. We thank you for the work. We thank you for the love, the example, the strength of Mama Jasiri that she has passed on to all of us, that she has passed on to Ranir, Kalia, Jaleel, Future, all of us. We thank you for the lives of African people. We thank you. We were born African.
Ashe.
Millions of all our ancestors. Amen. Ra. Ashe.
And I will say, we'll call up our lead minister, Minister Maat, to come give us the morning message. I know I'm already full. I'm already full. But Minister Maat is going to come add to the fullness. My brother.
case you didn't know, this should be not just a memorial, but it's to be a celebration.
Yes.
Celebration means that we should be up. We should be spirited.
Yeah.
It's not a somber occasion. It's an occasion that we should be reminded how blessed we are.
Yes, yes.
Regardless of what things may be going on, regardless of what may be happening, we have a lot of things, not just one thing, but a lot of things to celebrate. That should remind us that our spirits should be uplifted, especially in these type of situations. I don't know how many of you actually knew Mama Jasiri, but I feel like after this memorial, I know her pretty well now. Because if you know anything about us folks, it isn't so much that person that tells you about them. It's the folks who met them, who knew them, who worked with them, who were taught by them, who were touched by them, that you end up really knowing who someone is. For real. I'm much a person about education and teaching and learning. It always excites me when we have an opportunity to just talk about folks who have an impact upon others. It ain't so much you. It's what you do. How do you impact others? And I think without question, if I knew 30 years from now they might still be talking about me and had something good to say, I think I might have done well. And so it's no question that we have celebrated someone who has done well.
Ashe.
And like all ancestors, standing on their shoulders means that there's a requirement for you folks, for us. Because it ain't just good to be talking about how good she was. It's very meaningless as 28 years later, we are not still doing the things that she stood for. So this morning, I just, now the afternoon, everybody kept saying morning, so I said 2. But it is the afternoon. I want to just quickly, briefly, share with you a little piece about why is it that we invest in education. I know you might all think that's, well, gee, why not? But let me share a few things. In our good book, the Hosea, page 33, in the 6th stanza, it says, one who lessens falsehood encourages truth. One who admonishes good banishes evil.
Come on.
And then I got another thing for you. I was reading this book when I had the pleasure of going to Ghana, and I got this book. It's called the Book of Ashanti Proverbs. It has all these 1 or 2 liners. And one of the reasons why I really liked it is because of the brief one-liners. It said a lot with a little.
Yeah.
And it reminded me so much of my own mother.
Yeah.
Especially my auntie, who was my personal mentor and teacher, and sometimes I thought tormentor, because she was a very disciplined woman. She didn't take no mess. And you really had to respect and do the things in a way to appease her. And she was the great one-liners. People know what one-liners are? So this Ashanti proverb is a one-liner. And it says, a fool who doesn't know the game won't know it over till the players have left. that is all a setup for what I want to speak to real briefly about why do we invest in education? Thank you. I wasn't here when the folks that got together and made Ilioma Day happen. But it happens in a very classic style for us folks. Men plan, men think about what's great to do, men have all these good ideas, men have these strategies, men start thinking, well, we got an X and we got a Y. They might even bring in consultants and advisors. Women get busy. Come on now. Thankfully, because two of those things do work together.
Say that.
But you know, it can take a long time for men to figure out what to do.
Okay now.
They might come up with the right answers,
Right.
but it might take a while.
This takes extra time.
If we don't get the push
Right.
from women folk who say, okay, those are great discussions, ooh-wee, those are great ideas, and then the next day they make it happen. They take an ideal and make it concrete. They make it real. In education, it is those things that come together that make it valuable. There's no debate about whether or not education is important. There's no, ooh-wee, I wonder about this. But there is a part that has been exampled by our history, the presence and importance of education. And I'm not just talking about institutions of learning, but I'm also talking about personal education. See, many of us, and especially some young folk talk about it a lot, they have what's called street smarts. And a lot of folks just say, yeah, I don't have a degree, but I got a PhD in the neighborhood. I got education born outside of an institution of learning. Yet we come from a tradition that is historically valued institutions of learning. Y'all understand that?
Yeah.
It ain't just being street smart or slick or knowing what is up, but there's also institutions that we invested in for centuries before white folk understood what civilization was. We had higher institutions. A lot of folks have heard about Timbuktu, but before Timbuktu, there was the University of On. And On, right near Luxor, which was known as the city of libraries, a city where there was 13,000 professors.
All right now, teach.
And that was in the 4000s BC. Means before the other folks came, BC. 13,000 professors. That's an investment in learning. What we have carried on today, when you think about someone like LeBron James, he invested his money in education. Miriam Elderman, who an innovator in education. We have here in Oakland one of the first independent schools. The Oakland Community School started by the Black Panther Party.
Come on now.
Erica Huggins, another woman, along with Miss Brown. And they said, well, you know what? Oakland needs more than just militancy. They also need an institution to help us learn. The part that may not have been said out loud was we also have some things to unlearn.
Come on now. Teach.
Okay, I'm talking then.
No, I heard you.
See, we have institutions of higher learning, places where we get information and knowledge. But we also have to unlearn some stuff.
Come on.
Because institutions of higher education have also been used as weapons against us.
Yeah.
See, it's not by accident that there were missionaries going into our countries first.
Yeah.
Because see, they were seed in the ground, prepare the soil to educate us in a negative way, to actually rob us from our natural understanding of life and substitute it. And that we have to unlearn. Do you realize from the language we speak, to some of the clothing we wear, to some of the things we take for granted? That young sister said that she was in 8th grade going through the school and didn't even know we invented stuff. White folks had invented stuff because she had unlearned a standing that we used to have. Most of us went through school thinking we didn't even show up till slavery. Oh, okay, I'm talking to them. So we gotta understand that in spite of the fact that some of y'all look really bright and intelligent, got a few degrees behind you, some of y'all that graduated with diplomas, doesn't mean you haven't been miseducated.
Come on now. Teach good.
See, you can learn a lot and it still could be wrong. Because the piece that the institutions of higher learning were before served the purpose of not just informing and educating, but providing the foundation for wisdom.
Come on. Teach.
See, wisdom goes beyond education.
Yeah.
Because it tells you there's certain things that ain't right.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that are all good. And that you should be able to determine the difference. And through life experience, you learn how to practice those things. Because it makes life better.
Yes, yes.
See, your product, your outcome is your proof.
Come on.
If you learn the wrong things, your life tends to be raggedy. Not based on your income, but based on your outcome.
Come on.
Who do you become? And the beauty of Ilioma Day is that they're invested in who do you become. And they're good at the academics too. But we're robbing our young if we only focus on grades.
Yes.
And a whole lot of us got put through that system. My family was a B plus or no, don't even bring your report card home. Hide it.
Yeah.
Don't admit that it was, that got lost in the mail or something, because B minus meant abuse. Because grades matter. Because grades were the measurement. And we forgot about character.
Teach good, Baba. We hear you.
You ever heard the phrase, an educated fool?
Yes, yes. Come on.
See, people have substituted wisdom for information. So that's why Google is so popular. That's why computers have replaced hands-on education. That's why folks are honored way before they've accomplished anything real.
Come on.
You become celebrities, but you don't become wise.
Teach good.
I hope I ain't stepping on a few toes. But understand, those values, those things that we have honored, is because we were taught that they were important.
Yes, yes.
So if I don't come up here with a PhD behind my last name, if I'm not Dr. Malley, I have nothing of value to offer you. And we do that to each other in spite of the reality we know better.
Come on, remind us. Yes.
Oh, tell it, AJ. There are some people who are what we call blissfully ignorant. But that don't mean that the smart guy is good too. Because you could be blissfully smart and totally removed from wisdom.
Come on now. Well, come on.
So let me move this to this main point. The answer to why we invest in education is a simple one, but it is not a simple deed.
Come on. Teach good.
Let that sit with you for a minute. It's a simple answer, but it's not a simple deed. Because it takes more than just preaching, talking, teaching, conversation. It has to be about, first of all, what are you working with? See, what are you working with? Now, there's a suggestion in our material. This is my sacred text. I want everybody to see it. So you ain't got to guess for me. Do you see it's a good book? It's our biblical text. For me, my workbook is Maat, because it challenges me to be better. It challenges me to always look in the mirror and say, what am I working with?
Come on.
Because the true investment in education is to provide a format so that you become a better person. And you can only do that if you have what we call BFT, a better behavior, a better attitude, a better feelings, and a better thinking. See, if you're not a whole person, now y'all wouldn't pay for somebody to come to your house and fix half your door. You wouldn't want somebody that said you needed 4 tires and they only put 2. The issue of us and the issue of education is about how do we become complete people. Mind, body, and spirit. European influenced education only focuses on the outside. They want you to look good enough so you show up at the factories and the warehouses they need you to be at. The people who are truly economically successful have also been able to master the other part, that they are also something different in here.
Come on.
That's who our heroes and our sheroes are.
Yes, yes.
That's who Mama Jasiri was. And she wasn't born like that. So neither do we have to be born like that.
Come on.
But we do need to become that. At some point, you got to make a choice about what you're working with. Now, you can trust folks who have invested 400 years in keeping you sick. Or you can challenge yourself to step to some material that has been for thousands of years successful for maintaining a civilization that was so awesome, they're still trying to figure out how did they do that. And if you notice, there are no pyramids anywhere where it wasn't people of color. And people of color who originally emerged out of the African soil.
Come on, teach
Come on,
good.
y'all. You don't have to believe me. Believe your eyes. Believe what you can see documented, that even other folks can't deny it. But they try to trick you.
Yeah.
See, because when they miseducate you, then you won't even believe your own eyes. You'll be the one making excuses. Well, you know, aliens did come down. We have to be believers and acceptors and embracers of truth. And truth is not set up by me. Truth is self-evident in itself. Try challenging some things that ain't truths. I always tell you, look, we can start with gravity. Go to the top of this building, walk off the edge, and let's see if it truly will pull you down. I challenge you. I've accepted that truth. There are others without air. You won't last long. Go ahead, challenge you. Put a paper bag over your head. Now don't put a plastic bag, please. I don't want to revive anybody right now. But just test it. Truth, fundamentally supported by nature. The netters represent the issues of nature that folks with great wisdom took the time to study and understand. So you take the time, study, learn, and live. It takes that process that once you figure out something's got to be wrong, I don't think none of you will guess that now. You're pretty much assured something strange in the game. And you don't want to be the fool that won't figure it out to all the players that left. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all feel me?
Yes.
One more piece, if I may. Schools are locations that in the community, people bring their gifts. But it's just not for the students. Let me say that again. Schools are entities, they're buildings where the gifts come. The community gives their gifts, and it's not just for the students. It's supposed to bless the teachers. It's supposed to bless the administrators. It's supposed to bless the parents. It's supposed to bless the neighborhood. It's supposed to bless the community. It's supposed to bless the nation. It's supposed to bless everyone who is involved, who is invested, who is impacted by the presence of the school. Somebody ought to be excited about that. Because see, Erie Overday is a blessing because the gifts of the community come to it and it don't just stay in-house.
Yes.
We have a mother who now has her first child. We're blessed with blessed memories. We have another mother, even though some folks didn't know who she really was until she spoke, Sister Tamara. And there she is, a blessing, because she remembers. If we are true investors, we just don't watch it and look at it. We engage with it. We become a part of it, and then it becomes a part of you. I got most of my children, none of my children are really school age unless they would be going to college, but I got some grands. And I want them to be educated correctly. I spent 50 of my years unlearning, some sick teaching. I don't want them to have to spend that time. So the value of what you all say and all that you feel you have is expressed by how do you share it wisely. You ain't a mob boss. You don't need to be a gangster. You ain't got to be a hip hop artist. You gotta simply be a spokesperson. And you only speak for what you got. You don't have to make up nothing. You don't have to fill in spaces. Just speak for what you got because it's got value in itself. Ashe? Ashe? Ashe!
Minister Malley, say it again. I'm not supposed to be here, but I just, there are people that I haven't seen in a long time, so I just want to give a quick shout out before I invite Minister Ronna to come up and close us out. my good friend, Sister Nefertiti. I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome, my sister. Sister Mona, I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome, my sister. And Baba Sashim. I haven't seen you in forever, my brother. Welcome. And anybody that I missed, Sister Grace, yeah. I mean, we saw Sister Grace earlier. Jasiri's cousin. Welcome, Sister Grace. It's always wonderful to see you. Okay. Just minister around. Ashe, I am in the vibration of Mama Jasiri. I am in the vibration of love. I am in the vibration of we are stronger together. I am in the vibration of education, and as Minister Malley said, that full circle learning, not just the books, but the books and the books and the books, right? Right? There's many books we need to teach our children from so that they can be of rounded and full bloom minds and able to take on not just what's on with the pen and paper, but those things that come through in their life that come through the heart, those things that come through different relationships along the way, right? We want to be able to give them all of that. I am in a vibration. I want to extend an invitation at this point for anyone who today is with me, still rocking to the music that was being played over here and was blending that all together with Minister Malley's message. And it was just a mood, right? I was like, yes. Anybody who's here today who is feeling that same thing, feeling that same goodness and thinking, I want some of that for my life. I want some of that for my children. I want some of that for me, for my community, for my family. Because again, as the minister said, these things aren't just within us, right? We feed ourselves with it first, but then we have to share it with our families, our neighbors, our communities, right? We have to be able to spread it out. Anyone here today, anyone here today who does not necessarily have a spiritual home, as some would say, a church home, and is looking to put your roots down somewhere, come along with us. Come along with us on this journey. For any of you who are here today who haven't been here in some time and are wanting to reaffirm and reconfirm your relationship with Wose Oakland, I encourage you, let's do it. Get involved, become a part of what we're doing. Look at us post-pandemic up in here. Look at us.
Say that.
We don't even have but a few seats open in this situation. Look at us. And this is only after maybe barely a couple months even of being in here on first and third Sundays. Look at us. We are in a growth mode. We need each and every one of you to do your parts towards that. I don't know what your part is, but you might be thinking, I'd like to be doing something volunteering at Ileoma Day. I'd like to be cooking that food in that back room. You know, maybe you thinking, I can play drums just as good as that brother. You know, I don't know. Maybe he'll give you third Sunday and he play first. I don't know. But you might have something. So please, if you have an interest in being a part of what we're doing here, what we're representing is how you want to be represented. Let me know. Raise a hand. You can say 1, 2, and stand up. Do I see somebody? Coming on. How are you? Quick. How are you?
Quick.
All right.
I say.
Follow quick. This young man here has a special place in my heart. I don't even know if he knew it at the time, but shortly after my becoming an ordained minister, I was asked almost immediately to officiate a homecoming, a funeral. And this young man was referred to me by
Desmond, by Baba Desmond, who is on our council. And you know, when you don't know the person and somebody just said this gonna be all right, and you're like, I hope so, because if not, you're gonna be in trouble. So he showed up to that very special occasion, and his vibration was just like we had each other. We did what we needed to do, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So come on up and say what you want to say. Are you looking to become a part of this movement?
To become a part of this.
Yeah.
Family.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am going to put you in touch with whichever one of those gentlemen. There you go, right there, Baba Lustani. He's going to let you know. I'm sorry. I said Baba Lustani. Baba Kalabasi, and he's going to let you know what we need to do, what you need to do, and we're going to make it good. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome. All right, everyone. We welcome them. We welcome them. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? You'll have a twin with you if you come on this day. You got an automatic brother right there, born on the same day. Come on now, talk to me. All right, all right. Okay, so we will be here again, first and third Sunday. So feel free to come back. And also maybe when you leave here, some people are a little bit more shy and you start thinking, you know what, I wanted to do it, but I just didn't want to do it in that moment. I don't want to have that spotlight on me. You don't have to, that's fine. You can get in touch with Baba Kalabasi, you can get in touch with Baba Tai, you can get in touch with any of us. And we will make sure that happens. So again, we welcome you. Did everybody actually say we should give a big hand, round of applause? And I think that is wonderful. So now we're going to move over to Lift Every Voice and Sing. That's our way to wrap it up. Thank you, gentlemen. And anyone who does want to come up front for Lift Every Voice and Sing, you're welcome to. If you just like to stand where you are, that's fine as well. It's completely up to you. Put your hands together. Put your hands together.
And
Oh, you stronger voice.
Love to take that the dark past has taught. Sing a song, love the hope that the present.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now you are, if you're close enough to somebody to grab a hand, please feel free to do so. You only need to grab one. That's okay too. Now to them who is able to lift us up faultlessly before the throne on high. May they empower us to be a people with one aim.
One aim.
One faith.
One faith.
One love.
One love.
One heart.
One heart.
One God.
One God.
One God.
To our ancestors who were gracious enough to be here and still here
Yes.
with us today. We
Yes.
honor you, we appreciate you.
Yes.
Mama Jasiri, we thank you so much for
Yes.
all that you did and continue to do within our community.
Yeah.
Let's call on the name of that one God. Let us all say together.
For people on the face of this earth.
Ashe.